Hey, hello there, people. Been a little while since I've jumped on here and did this, but I feel things have changed a lot again since the last time I was on here. Things are going to change again tomorrow, Monday. So I thought I'd jump on, have a bit of a rant, get some things off my chest. First of all, I want to start, unbelievable, with a thank you. Just want to say thank you to all those inconsiderate twats that decided to run off abroad the minute they could, and then decide when they come home they're not going to quarantine, and have probably helped to spread this all over the country. I want to say thank you to the inconsiderate arseholes in that age group between 20 and 30 that have decided to have street parties against the rules, decided to all get together in massive groups, go to illegal raves, all get together, refuse to wear masks, refuse to do anything they're told because they think they're fucking Superman and they think they're indestructible and they can't ever be, ill. And when they're spoken to, their answer is, well, if I catch it, I'm not going to get ill. So thank you to those people as well. Also, thank you to any of the inconsiderate pricks that decide that they're not going to take COVID seriously. They're not going to wear face masks, even though it's a perfectly simple thing to do. It's not difficult, but everyone wants to make it a massive thing, that they're inconvenient. They're not bloody inconvenient. If you can wear a scarf around your neck and you can wear a baseball cap, you can wear a fucking face mask. There's no difference. And just generally thank you to all those people that have now put us back. So all the hard work we did and all the tough times that people went through earlier in the year with lockdown and all the tough times that the NHS staff had, we've all just totally thrown that out the window. All the sacrifices we made, not being able to visit relatives and stuff like that. No, these inconsiderate arseholes have set us right back, and as of tomorrow we can only meet together in groups of 6. Some areas of the country, kind of Lancashire and the north, are going back to lockdown, so their restaurants are shutting for takeaway only and stuff like that. So a big thank you to these inconsiderate arseholes that won't just comply with a couple of simple things, which is wear a face mask and social distance. They're not fucking big things to be asked to do. We're not being asked to walk around with our genitals on display everywhere. We're not being asked to, do the impossible. We're being asked to do 2 simple things, and these inconsiderate pricks won't do it. So you can understand I am fuming about this, because the potential is that it's going to go back to this whole thing that we can't see our family and stuff like that, and that was bad enough earlier in the year. I don't want to go back to that, but unfortunately the main age group that's driving this R rate up, we can't rely on them to decide to behave themselves, because they don't give a shit about themselves. They don't give a shit about anyone else around them. They don't give a shit about anything. It's all kind of live fast, die young. Everything's all about getting together with my mates and raving and partying. They don't give a fuck about the bigger picture. So, I must admit I'm a little bit worried about this, because we're relying on a generation that don't give a shit to now give a shit, and they're not going to. It doesn't help also with mindless morons posting absolute drivel and nonsense on Facebook and Twitter to say that this whole thing's been made up. It doesn't exist. COVID doesn't exist. It's all been made up. It's all to do with Bill Gates and Microsoft and blah 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 and blah blah blah. Fucking wake up. Seriously, do you honestly think that 40,000 people dying completely out of the blue has been made up? And it hasn't happened. I've seen people putting arguments forward online about why they think COVID-19 hasn't happened and why it's all a big myth and it's all been made up. The first thing is, I've never met anyone that's caught it, and I don't know anyone that's died from it. Well, lucky for you then, really. I'll be honest with you, I have known of people that have caught it and had it, and sadly I do know of someone that passed from it. So I can talk from experience and say, yes, I do know someone who's had it. Yes, unfortunately I am aware, and I do know of someone that has passed away from it. So to those people that want to go on Facebook and say, well, because I've never known anyone, it can't exist, fuck off. That's all I can say to these people. You're spreading absolute bullshit around Facebook. So if anyone's watching this video and you're one of these people that pastes these great big long absolute bollocks conspiracy theories on Facebook, do me a favour. Please unfriend me. Take me off your Facebook. I don't want to read this bollocks. I'm going to be one of these people that will comply, and I do want to make sure that we see the back of this and we get back to normal. I'm not going to be one of these sheep that follows every single conspiracy theory, along with 9/11 never happened. They never landed on the moon. The Holocaust never happened. And now all of a sudden COVID-19's never happened and it's all been made up. Fucking wake up. It has happened. 41,000 people dying is testament to that. All these things about, why do I need to wear a mask if I'm not ill? Think for a minute. Think. It's not just about you selfish idiots. It's about the people around you. You're wearing a mask, one, to protect yourself, but mainly to protect others, because this virus you can catch, not get any symptoms, but you can pass it on to everyone else while you're contagious. So to wear a mask reduces that. So you're not only thinking of yourself, you're thinking of the people around you. Now, I know this is going to be a big change for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't give a shit about the world around them. They don't give a shit about everyone else. All they give a shit about is themselves. So we've got to try and kind of change the mindset of people, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be really difficult, because these people are inherently fucking stupid and they won't listen, and they do think they know better. Well, why is it then, if you're so clever, why aren't you sat there at these press conferences being the lead scientist, giving out the facts and figures? If you seem to know it all, and it's all fake, and it's not happened, why aren't you coming out on the news and explaining to us all this? The reason why is because you don't know anything. You're fucking thick as shit. I'm sorry if I sound so angry about this, but I've seen some absolute bollocks put on Facebook, encouraging people, don't wear masks anymore, don't social distance anymore, it's all fake. Well, I'm sorry, if it's all the same to you, if you people want to disregard that and you people want to do that, why don't you all get in a group together and fuck off, and let the rest of us that have been compliant and do want to get through this and want to keep ourselves safe and the people around us safe and healthy, and our family help, from harm, free from harm. Let us do what we want to do. We're not being forced to do it. I don't feel that the government's oppressing me like this other shit that this people are spouting, that the government are using this as a way of controlling us. It's not controlling us, because we're not being told to do anything that stops our civil liberties. We can still do what we want and say what we want. All we're being asked to do is basically be considerate. And unfortunately, we do have a portion of the population that aren't considerate. They don't give a shit, and we've got to try and hope that a glimmer of common sense hits these people's heads, and they start complying. They start doing the things that need doing, because otherwise we are going to take a mighty step backwards. We are probably going to go back. Not probably quite as bad, but I mean, there is the risk that it could go back as worse as it was in kind of April and May. And if you think about it, when we had the peak, it took 3 months from the peak to get to a point where we could, kind of release things and make things a bit freer. We don't really want another 3 months before we can do that again, because then we're looking about sailing very close to Christmas and families not being able to get together at Christmas and stuff like that. So, really, you've got to take a step back, think, what are we being asked to do? Is it really that bad? Are we really being controlled? I've actually seen some absolute bellends posting stuff on Facebook saying that these face masks we're wearing have got microchips hidden in them. Oh, fuck off. Seriously. If I see anyone post that on my timeline, the first thing I'm going to do is send them a message saying, fuck off, you bellend. The next thing I'm going to do is remove them from my Facebook. And I don't want anything to do with them, because those are the very people that are causing this problem, because they're making up random shit to scare people into not doing what they need to do. It's bad enough that we got the BBC and we got Sky News like to absolutely scare the shit out of everyone and scaremonger everyone. They don't want to tell us anything good. They only want to tell us the stuff that's bad. We don't need other clowns jumping on with conspiracy theories talking absolute shit. Now, I know there's probably maybe the people who have posted this stuff might be watching this and they're probably sitting there swearing at their screen now. But you know what I say to you people? Bollocks. Don't spread shit. If you want to believe that, believe that. Keep it in your head. Don't spit it out and make a fool of yourself online. There is no evidence that backs up. You know, I've seen this great big long Facebook post with all these questions about the COVID and then answers to it. But all the answers have got no actual kind of way of backing up that the answers are real and are truthful. But and then loads of people jumped on this post. I agree, and all this stuff. And I think, oh, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? Sheep. You know, following rubbish. You know, they're probably the same people that say would turn around and say no one ever landed on the moon, and World War II never happened, and the Holocaust never happened, and 9/11 never happened. It was all fake. They're the same clowns that come out with all these stupid conspiracy theories every time. Excuse me. Every time something happens, they want to pipe up. So as I said before, if you are one of those people that's fond of posting this stuff because you actually believe it, fair play to you. If you believe it, fine. Don't print it, but don't put it on your timeline on Facebook. I don't want to see it. Most people don't want to see it because they look at it and just go, oh, fuck off. So do yourselves a favour, keep it to yourself. If you want to, have conspiracy theories, find other like-minded individuals that believe in the same bollocks as you and talk to them about it. Because the rest of us, we just want to kind of get through this, do what we need to do, get what needs to be done, and get back to normal as quick as we can. That's all we really want to do. We just want to get back to a sense of normality. And those clowns and the morons that won't comply and want to still ignore social distancing and that stuff, they're the people that are dragging us back, and they're going to keep this going and going and going and going. So that's my kind of rant about that. I don't want to keep going on about it because it really does piss me off thinking about it. The other thing that kind of pisses me off is that coming soon, kind of October time, the government furloughing people, they're going to be stepping away from that, and they won't be paying the money towards it. You've got all these people kicking off now saying, well, they should extend it. Explain to me why. You've just had 4.5 to 5 months off paid, whereas people like myself and other people have worked all the way through it. Some of us have had to still commute during all this kind of business. We've had to work full time. We've had to take on extra tasks to cover the people that are on furlough. I've had to take on jobs that aren't part of my role. I've had to deal with some quite, some situations that I'm not normally used to dealing with, and some quite emotional situations with people because I've been drafted in to help out because other people are on furlough, so they can't do their job, but because I'm still working, I've got to do their job because they can't. So we need to get people back to work as not as quick as possible, but people that are capable of coming back to work, we need to get them back. I know a lot of people have got very, very comfortable for the last 4.5, 5 months, just sitting there picking up a paycheck and doing nothing, knowing that eventually they'll have to come back, and they want to kind of delay it. Well, no, let's be sensible about this. Unless we go into lockdown again, you do need to get back to work at one point or another. You can't continue doing this. The government can't support paying you 80% of your wage for doing fuck all. The government can't support that. That money's come from somewhere already, and we know further down the line, when we do get through this, we're going to go through some hellish times with recessions and stuff like that, because that money has been taken from somewhere to pay it. So then that money's got to be got from somewhere to be replaced, and it's going to be people like me and you are going to pay for this. We're going to probably pay more income tax. We're probably going to get other things hiked up. Things are going to come in. We're going to end up paying that money back that's been taken to pay for these people to not work. Now, I do know that there are some people on furlough that really can't do the job that they're doing, and that's why they're on furlough until the time when they can come back. Fully understand that. I can understand why they've done it, but there are a lot of people that are just trying to dodge it. They're just trying to kind of stay on furlough because it's money for nothing. and they're trying to avoid it and stuff like that, and they're in for a hell of a shock come October, because the government then stand away from it. At the moment they've dropped it from the 80%, so I believe it's either 60 or 70%. Come October they're not going to be paying any of it, and a lot of these companies, quite rightly so, aren't going to pay for their staff at a full wage to sit at home and do nothing. People are going to lose their jobs over this, and that's the sad thing about it. But it ain't going to help that people that could come back are looking at ways of dodging, just so they can get an extra bit of kind of squeeze out of this. You know, they've had 4.5, 5 months of paid holiday. In essence, a lot of people. I know some people haven't. Some people are still kind of worrying whether they're ever going to have a job to come back to, and those people I do feel sorry for. It's the ones that are just milking it and trying to avoid going back because they can get paid for doing nothing. They're the ones that fucking irritate me, because us that have worked all the way through it, like the people in the supermarkets and stuff like that have worked all the way through the worst of it and had abuse from people and had to put up with people going in the shop acting belligerently and doing all the kind of the panic buying and stuff like that. Those people have had to work through some shit times, and they've had no time off. They've not been allowed to have time off. You know, and then you've got these other people that are just sat at home with their feet up, loving life because they're getting paid for doing nothing, and they're going to try and dodge going back as much as they can. So we need to put a boot up these people's asses and get them back working. Schools have gone back. Which is a good thing. I think that needed to happen a bit sooner than it did. I would have sooner them have got the kids back in school first and got that settled, and then opened up the pubs and the restaurants and everything once that had already happened. I think they've done it the wrong way around. But who am I? I'm not a politician. Hindsight's a great thing. Keir Starmer, you know, has plenty to say for himself about how wrong things have been done, but he never comes forward with another plan of what could be done instead. He just sits there, that's wrong, that's wrong. Hindsight's a great thing. I just call him Keir Hindsight, because it's very easy to sit back and criticise someone when you're not actually making any decisions yourself, and you're not getting involved, and you're not trying to help the situation. It's very easy to just sit there and criticise and go, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, you're rubbish, you're crap, blah blah blah. It's easy to sit there when you've got nothing on your shoulders of any decisions that you need to make. You can just sit there and criticise, and nothing happens. You pick up a big wage for being the leader of your party, but you've got no decisions to make. You can just sit there and criticise and say that everything they do is wrong, but nothing ever comes back on you because you're not part of trying to put things right. It would be better if the man stepped up and said, you know what, I feel that you could have handled this a bit differently. May I suggest that we work together and do this and that? But yeah, and he's all kind of, you know, it's pathetic really that he mouths off in the House of the Commons, and you're thinking, but you're running a party that you've got no decisions you need to make, you've got no pressure on you whatsoever. You can just sit back and criticise, and nothing's going to happen. So it's an easy job. He's got a doddle of a job at the moment, really, Keir Starmer. All these literally, he's Mr. Hindsight. You know, oh, you should have done this, or you should have done that. Well, why didn't you speak up earlier then? If you could see that these things were going wrong, why didn't you jump in and say, hey, why don't we work together on this? I've got some ideas, I've got some plans. But oh no, it's far easier just to criticise and act like a petulant kid in the playground telling someone they're rubbish. But then that's politics for you, and what do I know? I'm not a politician. Apart from that, it's been good to jump on here and get this out of my system. Hopefully we don't go back to kind of the dark days of the full lockdown. It'd be good to catch up with people, obviously in groups of 6 now, but it'd be good to catch up with a few people that I haven't seen for a while. I will try and jump on here a bit more often for you to kind of laugh at me getting wound up about things. As I say, please suggest anything that you'd like me to rant about. If you know there's a particular topic that's probably going to rattle my cage, jump on my Facebook page, jump on the YouTube page and make some suggestions. I do appreciate the people that do jump on the videos and like them on YouTube. Yeah, much appreciated. I'm never going to be one of these big influencers that influences thousands of people, and that's not what I want, really. I don't want to be one of these arseholes that plug stuff pretending they buy it, but they've not. They've been given it by someone else to say that they use this and they do that, and they're all full of their own self-importance. So I don't really want to be that. But it'd be nice to have a few kind of likes on YouTube, and maybe people outside of the Rich Tea bubble kind of watching these videos and getting a bit of feedback from them. Anyway, it goes without saying, everyone, please stay safe, stay healthy, use your noddle, use your common sense, don't get fooled by the conspiracy theorists. I'll talk to you again soon. So without, nothing else really to add, take care. Peace out, my lovelies.